Hey, Robin with Big Doodle Dreams, and today I wanted to talk about deaf dog training and some of the things that I've encountered in this process. Because this guy right here, this is Wilson, and Wilson, he did not come from me. I did not make him. Unfortunately, I purchased him from another breeder, and she was not aware. And based on appearances, I was not aware. To further explain that, if you go back into my videos and you find color genetics, the dilute gene, it's the third part of the color genetics. It explains all of that and where this comes from. But no, I didn't make him. I was planning on him being part of my breeding program, and obviously being deaf, he absolutely should not be used for breeding. So he does have a new home, but what I wanted to tell you is that while he was here, I did work heavily on training, and I learned a lot in the process. And it's interesting because some of the information that I saw online I did, and I've gone back and man, I wish I would have done it just a little bit different. So first thing I'm going to tell you, if I sit here and I go, oh, here, come here, baby, he's not going to respond. And unfortunately, you have to think of that in your mind as being something that is going to affect all aspects of training, everything from positive to negative. So if the deaf dog has run away, you can't blame the dog for not hearing you. It's part of process. It's part of learning. Something that I saw online is that people were using lights, like a flashlight, to train the dog to return, and I absolutely did not want to do that. I read multiple places where they said that can turn into OCD behavior. So your laser pointers and your flashlights, avoid it. It's honestly not healthy for the dog. So the first thing I wanted to teach him was the sign to go potty. And what I had read and seen is that people were giving two signs. They were giving a symbol to tell the dog to go potty, and then they were giving a symbol to tell them that they did the right thing. And what I figured out now is that initial symbol, it kind of went away. It didn't mean anything to him because he wasn't associating it with a behavior. The only time it was effective is if I knew 100% for sure he was actually going to go to the bathroom, and then he would make that connection. Otherwise, the symbol that he knows for potty is this with two thumbs up, and that's the association that he made. So he did potty train very quickly. He's learned that really quickly. Sleeping in a crate at night, that was really interesting. When I initially brought him home, not knowing that he was hearing impaired, he really barked and cried through the night. He had lots of problems, and as soon as the sun was up, he was up. And I never made that association that was part of it. Yeah, let's not do that, buddy. Not on the camera. Not on the camera. So he at nighttime, I finally figured out that if the room was completely dark, he would be fine. And that's what I've done, is that I've had to actually take his crate and place cardboard upright around it so he still has airflow in around his crate, but the cardboard blockades all of the light coming in from the windows and the doors, and that has really helped. So he's learned the sign for potty, a very funny one, I'll say, with the smiles and all of that. Let's not do that. And he knows to sit, and he'll actually sit. And the time when he absolutely knows he has to do it is when I have his bowl. So when I'm feeding him, I will make him sit. And he sits, and I set it down, and that way he's not jumping into the bowl, not knocking it over, not being disruptive with his food. And he essentially has learned to sit. So that was part of the training. And then of course all of the harness training and leash training that I've done with him. One of his hand signals is this, and it's to come. and he'll make a choice. Sometimes he doesn't want to, he wants to stay outside. And I'll call, and he'll stop, and he'll look at me, and I'll shrug, and I'll wave. And that's my symbol to tell him that I'm going to go in now. You can come with me. You want to come, you can come. But if you don't, then I'm going to wave at you, and you can stay out, and that's fine. But being deaf, you certainly want to have him in a fenced-in area. He's not a dog that you would ever want him loose in a yard, no fence, with the risk of, other vehicle, another animal, something else, that could hurt him. He could run off. He wouldn't hear a car coming. I mean, there's so many reasons. Head shaking is typical with hearing impaired dogs. So you just saw it then, and that's very typical for him. So the other thing that I focused on was I actually trained him with Bingo. And I will attach some additional videos to the end of this. But I trained him with Bingo, and I've taught Bingo to give him the toy, to go and get him. So when we do go into the very large fenced-in area, if he's off smelling something and doesn't want to come, I can send Bingo, and Bingo will go out, he'll circle him, and then he'll come back. And typically with it circling, he looks up and he's like, oh, and he follows, and he goes right with. So the training has been really great. And then I had also been walking them both on the leash together and teaching Bingo to keep him in heel position. So making him walk next to me with Bingo on the outside. And that has worked really well as well with him. But on a schedule, very, very rigid schedule. He does not like it when it's changed. So up at a certain time, fed at a certain time, out at a certain time. If you stick with the schedule, it'll be a lot easier with and honestly with any dog. But he was really easy to crate train once I realized that he couldn't have a light. He was really easy to housebreak once I was able to realize and understand his cues. The thing I will tell you is that you have to remain positive, because they don't hear your voice. They don't know when they've done something wrong, because most of us, what's the first thing we do? We say, no, stop, don't. And the dog, obviously, he doesn't hear it. He has no idea. So he has to read body language, facial expressions, and your hands and what you do. And everything has to be positive. So here's the thing that I got to share with you that's probably the biggest thing ever. When he falls asleep, you can't just walk up and touch. Can't call his name. There's a whole process to it. He recognizes my smell. When he is asleep, if I've walked around his crate and he hasn't woken, I can open the crate, and then I can place my hand in front of his nose. And while he's sleeping, he'll breathe it in, and he doesn't startle. He wakes up and he looks, and he knows that it's me. But startling a dog because he doesn't know. And that was another consideration when I would have his crate in the house. I wanted him to be, that's a snake. There's a little itty bitty snake going across it's a little ringneck. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera. Do you see it? Oh goodness, everything is always so exciting. I have to just snatch it up. That's a ringneck snake happening to go across the ground. There you go, buddy. Gotta love animals, guys. Gotta love animals. But he is good. He sleeps through the night in the crate. He's awesome. The signs have been good. So watch all the way through to the end. I'm going to attach a few videos with him and Bingo, just so that you can see some of the interaction and some of, essentially I had to train Bingo to be able to do what I needed him to do. So, yeah, watch all the way through. Subscribe to my channel, guys, and take care, and I'll see you guys soon. silly. Yeah. There's his growl. And of course he gets silly, isn't he? He's silly. Jesse, quit. That's enough. Whoops. Where'd the ball? Oh, you still have the ball? I don't believe it. Whoa. Easy. Gentle. Good boy, Bingo. Good boy, being easy. Whoa! You silly, silly boy. You let go of it. Gentle. Bingo. Bingo. Psst. Off. He says, let me have that ball. Let him have it back, Bingo. Give it back to him. Bingo. Let him have it. Let him have it. Bingo. Shh, shh, shh. Good boy, Bingo. Good. Jesse, you can't always bark when they want to play. He's funny, isn't he? Look at him. I know. Easy, 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 easy. Shh, Jesse. I think they're getting wore out. See, Bingo could take it, but he chooses not to. He'd rather keep the game going. It's pretty funny. He says, come on, we'll play again. We'll play again. Are you going to give it back? You have to give it back. Good boy.